Hello. Okay, so we are here for round three of the Sarcoid trivia game. We have Angela Thompson. Please say hello.
Hi, everybody.
Angela Thompson is an associate producer, and she's been working really hard on both of these campaigns to get the funds that we need to create this documentary. And she will also be starring on our project. And we have Dr. Spencer Johnson joining us.
Hello.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Let's see, I'm Andrina's cousin, a psychiatrist, and I'm very much behind this project that she is helming. It's very worthwhile. This is a very mysterious medical condition that not much is known about and that the general public doesn't appreciate. And I think this is going to be, in fact, I don't think, I know this is going to be an awesome film.
Thanks. So, Spencer Johnson here uh, is the owner of the nonprofit film company that we're partnering up with. Um, RIFE stands for Real Independent Film Extravaganza. He's based in Washington, D.C. Could you tell us a little bit more about your film experience?
Let's see, we have Skyrocket Productions, which is the production arm. And the nonprofit arm is Real Independent Films Extravaganza, Inc. And we would have had 11 years this year of continuous operation as a film festival, usually around mid to late October. But of course, we're going to be closed down. And moving a film festival to online is not the easiest thing to do. So we're going to take this year basically on hiatus and reconfigure how we do things in the future. But in the meantime, through the nonprofit, we can assist in the production of this film.
So everything works out for a reason. Now you have time to help us.
That's right.
And
Don't have
thank
to
you,
program a
Spencer.
festival. No, thank you all for this opportunity.
Well, it is our pleasure. So let's get started. Hold on. Make sure I'm doing this right. All right, so I'm gonna do screen share and we're gonna go here. Can you see it? Can you see it?
There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Then look at the answers over there. I'm trying to get here.
Oh,
There we go.
answers. Cheap. We like
All
that.
right. So the Sarcoid Trivia Show, round three, winner versus winner. First question is, what sarcoidosis is blank? A, an autoimmune disease. B, a type of cancer. C, an inflammatory disease. Or D, a pathogenic disease.
Who's going first?
Angela, you could go first.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
C.
Okay, Angela says
Inflammatory
C.
disease.
C.
Oh, you're both saying C? I thought you were saying like C, like look, and I was like, what? All right, so let's see. C, it's an inflammatory disease. Try to start with 101 basics. Sarcoidosis is an inflammatory disease that affects multiple organs in the body, but mostly the lungs and lymph glands. So 1-1. And there's my little, I'm trying to cite things more so people are like, I'm not just pulling this out anywhere. When sarcoidosis affects the eyes, the most common problem is blank. Is it A, night blindness, B, uveitis, C, lazy eye, or D, sympathetic ophthalmia? How you say that?
Ophthalmia.
Ophthalmia.
Yeah.
Ophthalmia.
Ophthalmia. Yeah.
Sympathetic ophthalmia. It's B. Uveitis.
And what about you, Spencer?
B.
And let's see. You guys got it right. See, I made this a little easier, maybe too easy for two winners, okay? So
Or maybe
B,
because I have uveitis all the time.
yeah, you know that from personal experience.
Yeah.
So B, uveitis patients may develop uveitis as a complication of sarcoidosis, and it's inflammation of the uvea, or the blood-rich membranes of the eye, which is the middle membrane. Did you know? All right, and that's from FSR. So, which is a syndrome sarcoidosis patients may experience during the early stage of the disease? Is it A, failed back syndrome, B, Parkinson plus syndrome, C, Lofgren syndrome, or D, Freund's syndrome?
I'm going to rock with C, Lofgren syndrome.
Okay.
C.
Okay, let's see. You got it. So, like sarcoidosis, it's.
I think Spencer. I should have gone behind Spencer.
Oh, is he copying you? Is that what it
No,
is?
I'm not.
That's why he's talking about that lady.
No. No, I'm saying, like, if I'm in doubt, I'm gonna want to back him, go behind the doctor.
No, but
Well,
this
you're
isn't my
both.
specialty at all.
You guys are tied, so you're looking good so far. And this we're halfway through, so you're doing pretty good. So, yeah, it's characterized by patches of inflammatory cells called granulomas in various organs and tissues. So, yeah. Which region of the U.S.
Ooh.
is sarcoidosis most prevalent? A, North, B, West, C, East, D, South.
Okay.
Angela?
I'm going to say.
You
I'm
saying
going
A?
to say the North.
You're saying A?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Spencer?
Ooh. It's not B or C.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with D.
So Angela disappeared on us. Let's see if she comes back. What about now?
There you are.
So you see Angela?
I see Angela.
She's gone again. She must have a bad connection. So what's your answer? She said A. She might want to change it, but what about you, Spencer? What answer do you have?
Oh, that's a hard one. It's not B or C, so I'm going to guess and say A.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead. Are you there, Angela? There she is. So, what are you?
Hear you? I don't see you. Can you hear me?
I can see and hear
see
you.
and hear.
Okay, I don't see you at all, but I can hear you. Okay, now I can see the screen again.
Okay.
I'm sticking with A though.
Okay. So you both said A, and the answer. Hold on. Let me go in full screen again. All right. And the answer is D, South.
We were on the same page though, Spencer. We knew it wasn't being C.
It wasn't either the coasts.
Right. I
Well,
was thinking I was going to
technically-
change it to South, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it says sarcoidosis is more prevalent in the South and Southeast regions of the U.S., but the reason behind this is unknown.
And that's why this film is so important.
Yeah.
People need to get on the stick and figure out the why.
Mhm.
yeah. I was thinking the South, and I don't know why, but I personally, just since we've been involved, doing this more with awareness, I've come across so many people that I've noticed that live in the southern regions of the United States. And that's just from my time that I've met you, Andrina. And so that was the only reason I want to pick the South. That's it. So I believe it's unknown. That really has
Well,
no bearing on this
I read before that it's more common in rural areas, so maybe that's why it's in the South. I think one study was done that something about wood burning may be a reason why people develop it, but it hasn't been proven. So.
Well, that's why I initially said the North, because I knew of it to be rural before, and I figured it was like North, and then I thought Scandinavian, so I thought North, but
Yeah.
Question.
Did you say you have a question?
No, I said that was a good question.
Okay, I finally got you guys on one.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's go to the next one. On average, how many doctor appointments will a new patient attend before being diagnosed with sarcoidosis? Is it A, 5, B, 2, C, 4, or D, 10 or more?
I know this.
What's your answer?
It's definitely not B.
Tricky.
No, it's definitely not B. I don't know. I know for me it was definitely D. But I'm a rare breed. I'm just gonna stick with D because I know what my situation was, but I think it's A or C.
Okay. So what about you, Spencer?
You can tell when a teacher makes up a test. The two that
Yes.
can be ruled out.
Yeah,
Boom.
and I want to put a plug in. Anyone in Louisville, Kentucky who doesn't have time to tutor your kids when school comes back, call your girl because I will
She'll
come
do
and
it.
do it.
She'll do a good job.
We'll teach.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll do it a good job. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Rare illness, poorly understood. It would definitely be more than 2,
Mm-hmm.
but somebody should be able to get it by 10. So then 4 or 5. I'll try C.
Okay, say C, and the answer is C, 4.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have sarcoidosis, you may have symptoms for several months to years before your disease is diagnosed. But according to FSR, on average, patients go to 4 doctor's appointments before they are diagnosed with sarcoidosis. I went to one extended hospital stay before they diagnosed me. I went to one, they told me I just had sciatica. And I was like, okay. And then it didn't go away. So hospital stay later, about a month or so, I got diagnosed.
Yeah, I knew it was 4 or 5. I just couldn't remember. I didn't know which one. I knew it was 10, or it was probably about 40 for me before I finally got it.
Yeah, I find that number surprising because of so many people who say it, like we're diagnosed with something like asthma or incorrectly diagnosed with something, and it took years for them to get the proper diagnosis. So according to
See, the problem you
FSR.
have is that in medicine they say when you hear hoof prints, your first answer shouldn't be, when you hear hoofbeats, your first answer shouldn't be zebras.
And start with
That's
A.
just the way doctors think. Look for horses first.
Uh-huh.
But they have to have enough sense to realize that zebras make the same noise.
That's a good,
Analogy.
yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This I found interesting. Which is the only test that, if positive, is considered to be diagnostic of sarcoidosis? The only test, if positive, is considered to be diagnostic of sarcoidosis. Is it A, MRI imaging results, B, transbronchial biopsy, C, Kevin Slitzbach skin test, or D, blood work?
I'm going first.
Yeah.
Transbronchial biopsy.
Okay. Angela goes B. What about you, cousin Spencer?
B, because the only way you can diagnose anything like this is with a biopsy.
So let's go and see. It's that
Oops.
Kev Slitzbach. The stages of sarcoidosis was created by this Slitzbach guy, and then this Kelvin person came later and developed a skin test where they put a suspension of granuloma containing spleen, lymph node, or other tissue from a confirmed case of sarcoidosis, and they inject it into their skin, intradermally, and a positive test characterized by the formation of papillae at the site of injection within 4 to 6 weeks. But this test is not done as much. Only a few places in the US can do it. And since it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get a result, that's why it's not used as much now. But it's supposed to be the only like definite test.
Yeah, that makes sense as to why I've never heard of it in the US, because in all the support groups, all you hear is the biopsy,
Yeah.
especially the bronchial biopsy. But for someone who had skin sarcoidosis, that was never even introduced to me when I was battling that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the Flitzbach, Bach, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but he's the one who came up with the stages of sarcoidosis, like 0 to 4 or 5. So a lot of this is based on his findings. And yeah, I just learned that today by doing this. So I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to
I
pull up
also
that
was
link.
diagnosed through a biopsy.
Okay. Thanks for the link. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, yeah. So http granuloma.homestead.com, and then this guy's name's KVEIM. I'm trying to read it so small. .html. It's a page out of an article. That's what that's a link to.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, yeah, that's it. And you guys tied, so we haven't had this happen yet. So I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna have to go again, or can I just think of one question real quick? Or we could just say you're both winners. You're both winners.
Everybody's a winner.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, that was still fun anyhow. And
Yes.
Spencer, thank you again for sponsoring us. I mean,
Yeah.
it just means a lot. I didn't say much at the beginning because Andrina knows this has been a tough day for me. And I didn't want to get all emotional trying to speak. So I'm not going to do a lot of talking now, but I just want to thank you again for your
Thank you all
endless
for
support.
having me.
Your endless support. And Andrina, thank you again for your leadership in this effort. Look forward for us to continue pushing forward.
Yes, thank you for being a part of it, both of you. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Stay tuned for our next time when we play the Sarcoid Trivia Show.